We cannot get, I mean, unless the wind blows all that rain in here. But even then, cool us down a little bit.
Yep.
Cover up some of the equipment. I mean, it makes Sean a little bit nervous, who's running the equipment out here. But listen,
Sean's over here like, please, please.
listen, you know, I mean, you and I could suffer death after we get shocked from it, but, a small price to pay for getting a little bit cooled down.
Yeah, absolutely.
After he paid them, the money went to their accounts. Football lore is being
Guy who's already had plenty of bad looks, the whole throwing the furniture over the railing, and just this is a guy that needs to go away. But the problem is he has got an ego on him, it feels like, that is just won't let him kind of fade away into the background. And when you buy a stake in this team and then you literally run it into the ground, Alex, you bought in and the league kicked your team out because they're like, you know what, we ain't dealing with this anymore. It's a bad look, but this is even worse. Like, to take the money from that last paycheck and say, you know what? Actually, I'm going to hold on to that money. Even though it hit your account, I'm taking that money back. Yeah, no wonder lawsuits are coming.
So there you go, Antonio Brown. Can't get a hold of him.
Oh, jeez.
He's had a lot of things they haven't been able to get a hold of him for. So, you know what? When these teams come calling, then they can go, oh, sorry, you couldn't get a hold of us.
Yeah.
We were not available.
Yes,
So
they played in the National Arena League. They terminated the franchise and kicked it out of the league earlier this month after Brown failed to make the required payments to the league's operating budget.
Jeez. All right. Jake, thanks for hanging out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll come back tomorrow. Jazz up next right here on the Jazz Radio Network. Summer League coming right at you. Stay with us, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen to DJ and PK Monday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. for the Chevy Strong Play of the Day. And then tune into Unrivaled with Alex Keary and Scott Mitchell from 3 to 6 for your chance to win a $20 Amazon gift card. It's the Chevy Strong Play of the Game on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
He didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
Getting close to retirement? Or have you retired? You've probably got a ton of stress-filled questions on your mind. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth. Getting a second opinion with an individualized investment plan is vital, and our fiduciary advisors do just that. Take it from this Trajan Wealth client.
It was just so pleasant, so comfortable. I think we had 7 different accounts, just stuff scattered all over the place. And then so we just started, here's this, move this. And he even explained it a couple different times. But if I have more questions, he said, just give us a call. And that's what I love. He's a phone call away. Like, I'm glad I know these guys. Such a huge weight off my shoulder.
Imagine not second-guessing investments or monthly retirement income. That's the peace of mind you'll get from working with Trajan Wealth. Call 801-899-7600 today or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Actual client, no compensation, no conflicts. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
These are unprecedented times. If you're experiencing flood issues or in need of sump pumps, hoses, generators, or sandbags, Let Mountain Land Supply help. Shop where the professionals shop. They have experienced and extremely knowledgeable employee owners that can assist you and make sure you get what you need to get back on track. See your local Mountain Land Supply branch today or go online at mountainlandsupply.com. That's mountainlandsupply.com.
Popular upgrades to your home is a tankless water heater. We offer a no-pressure educational environment with free estimates and second opinions. Call us today to schedule one of our comfort specialists to your home. Text or call Lee's Heating and Air at 801-467-1561. 801-467-1561. Online at leesheatac.com.
Hey guys, Dr. Johnson here from Remedical. You've heard me multiple times talking about all the revolutionary ED treatments at Remedical. Let me now introduce you to our dedicated patient coordinator, Sierra.
Guys, don't let ED slow down your busy lifestyle. I've personally witnessed our exceptional providers at Remedical significantly improve people's lives. We have the most cutting-edge and effective equipment and experienced staff. Our process is quick, pain-free, and effective. We can get you off of the pills and on your way in no time, renewing intimacy and restoring spontaneity. Call today, mention Sierra, and you will qualify for 2 free months of testosterone therapy with a treatment package. Take advantage of this offer now and let Remedical revitalize your life. The consultation is free and 0% financing is available. What are you waiting for? Visit remedical.com to book your free consultation. That's remedical.com.
And follow us on Instagram for special offers. See you in the clinic.
97.5 KZNS FM Colville, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome inside the Delta Center. David Locke along with Ron Boone as the Utah Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder are taking the floor and getting ready for Summer League game number 1. The first one just finished. Memphis beating Philadelphia 94-92. It was a great game and went all the way down to the wire. David Roddy, the Memphis Grizzlies NBA player in the regular season, with a game winner. Kenny Lofton was the G League Player of the Year with a big 3 from Memphis to beat Philadelphia. David Locke along with Ron Boone, the Utah Jazz, taking the floor in black shorts with a yellow outline, and Keontae George is ready to make his Utah Jazz debut, and that's the headliner here, Ron, is with Taylor Hendricks and Bryce Sensabaugh both sitting out with injuries. The 16th pick in the NBA draft will be the headliner for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, most of the fans here are going to know all about these 3 draft picks that the Jazz have. We only have one playing tonight, and he's going to get a chance to showcase exactly what he can do. Tremendous amount of coverage over those guys over the summer. We got a great crowd here tonight to watch these guys play.
Well, one of the other familiar faces we see is Ochai Agbaji. He and Keontae George will be the backcourt. And one theme that seems to be true for the Utah Jazz here in the Summer League, as well as the way I think they're going to approach the regular season, is in a city in which John Stockton made the point guard famous. We are moving into a new era where the old school point guard does not seem to be something that the Utah Jazz are too concerned with having on their roster, Summer League or regular season. Push the ball up the floor. Anyone can bring it up the floor. Get into the action. We don't care who's initiating.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was, kind of asking, coaches today, because if you have certain guys bringing up the floor, is there an offense that you automatically get into regardless of who brings the basketball up the floor? And you're talking about old school basketball, not John Stockton. I'm old school basketball going back when I played, where whoever brought the ball to the floor didn't have to be a point guard, could be a 2 guard, and you automatically get into something that the pace of play is a little bit faster, and you can make things happen.
Yeah, but when you used to play as 2 guard fronts.
Exactly.
Now, and then it was the 1 guard front. Now it's no guard front.
That's exactly it. Go back to the Jazz season last year. Kelly Olynyk, 6'11", and bringing it back.
This was kind of playing the Jokic big man. I think with the 5-out game that everyone's playing, where everybody can shoot on the floor, the one thing that's difficult about 5-out is spacing. So if you have a big that can handle in the middle of the floor and distribute, now it gets really easy to start cutting and moving and doing things of that nature. And frankly, for the big, It's a lot easier to get the basket on one dribble or two dribbles than it is on three or four.
And another thing you're pointing out there, which is very important, because if you got a big bringing the ball up the floor, get you into the offense, now he's automatically setting a pick. So you're automatically getting into something here, and you get the ball rolling there. Back in the day, I know you don't like back in the day.
No, I don't mind back in the day.
But you think about like Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, those guys that would set a pick and with handoffs there as well. I mean, and now you're starting to see a little bit more of that, where the bigs, Jokic, come down the floor, sets a pick and with a handoff there, and really getting into the offense there as well.
On the other side of the ledger and we have some more familiar faces. Keontae George, obviously, is the headliner, but Ochai Agbaji, Luka Samanic, Micah Potter, guys that Johnny Juzang is out tonight, but he's on the Summer League roster. So some familiar names on the Utah Jazz, guys that very well may be on the NBA roster. For Oklahoma City, the NBA world's going to watch tonight because Chet Holmgren returns. The number 2 pick of the 2022 draft. Remember, he debuted last year in Summer League against Utah Jazz in dominating fashion. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 6 blocks in that game. But then ended up with the Liz Frank injury on his foot, was out for the entire season. He's added 15 pounds to his spindly frame, and we see him again tonight. And Oklahoma City added Cason Wallace. He's not with the team yet because that trade has not gone through yet, NBA. So this is their headliner. Their headliner is Chet Holmgren, as we see him again in Summer League here in Utah.
Yeah, we'd like to see exactly what he can do, David, at this level. And you're looking at a guy, David, 7'1", 208 pounds.
Salt Lake Bees baseball is on the air. It's time.
More form from a player standpoint, Ron. The backcourt we talked about: Keontae George, Ochai Agbaji, Johnny Juzang not going. Luka Samanic was an interesting player. He played the last 7 games with the Jazz after a disappointing opening 2 years with the Spurs, where he played just 36 games, and he showed some flashes. This is a good opportunity for him. He's non-guaranteed for this year, so these are important games for him.
Yeah, but I think he did sign a 2-year contract and non-guaranteed, but he showed some spark last year toward the end of the season, especially shooting the basketball. Wasn't shy about it. I think Will put him in a position where he could, show exactly what he could do. Gave him a lot of playing time there toward the end of the year there as well. So he's in a position where he can shine and maybe stick around.
Jazz announced today that Joey Hauser's been signed to a 2-way contract. In the new collective bargaining agreement, there are now 3 2-way contract players on your roster. So Joey Hauser out of Michigan State is one of those. We'll see him play tonight. And then here's a name that many of you probably don't know, but the word out of camp is he's been very good so far at camp, and we'll get some time tonight and might really be an important player for the Salt Lake Stars coming up this year, is Colby Ross. He's out of Aurora, Colorado. He played 4 years at Pepperdine. He was in Italy last year, Colorado High School Player of the Year. Some of you might remember him because of your BYU was in the West Coast Conference. He dropped 43 in the West Coast Conference tournament against St. Mary's. So he can put it up a little bit as a smaller guard. But he supposedly has been really, really good running the show. And we'll see if they rely on him at all. We're going non-point guard. There's the point guard you got on your roster when you really might need it in some way.
Hope he's fast enough and he can shine out there on the floor, David. But this is what this is all about. This is what Summer League's all about. You got all these players that are trying to make a basketball team or get a chance to play in the G League. There's all scouts from everywhere. So you're not just trying to make the particular team you're playing for. There's other scouts watching you and looking at you that you might have a chance to make a jump somewhere else. And Brad, Evan Bratz,
yes.
I don't know if I told you this, but his grandfather played with me with the Dallas Chaparrals back in 1960s, in those days. David.
So
his grandfather was on the team with me.
Ron Boone, I've had a few moments where I go back to my WNBA career as a play-by-play announcer, and their women I called games for as children are now in the NBA.
Wow, that's awesome.
And that makes me feel...
Well, like you make me feel, huh?
Old. So how does it feel to have someone's grandfather... grandfather.
Yes, grandfather.
Be the one who's coaching not playing, coaching a G League game or a Summer League game. And you played with his grandfather.
Right. I think it's totally awesome.
Right. God, he probably needs some joints replaced if that's the case. Just needs.
Quite a crowd, though. I mean, every year at the Summer League, we always have a very good crowd, and you get a chance to watch 2 games for the price of one. Tons of kids. A great opportunity here to, come down and watch.
I'm walking out of the house tonight. My wife says, "Does anybody come to this?" I'm like, do fans come, or she's are they allowed to come? I was like, yeah. Because remember, Orlando Summer League, fans used to not be able to come. She actually is pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So I said, no, we'll have 10,000 people here tonight. Yeah. She was like, what?
The lower bowl.
What? Yeah, lower bowl sold out.
And they got some of the upper bowl there as well.
Upper bowl filling up already.
Yeah.
Incredible. See that in Salt Lake. All right. Oh, I love these Summer League uniforms. Jazz with a black uniform with a spotlight yellow kind of ruler-sized stripe down each side with a nice outline, kind of a fun uni tonight for the Jazz. This seems to be the Summer League look because Oklahoma City has a similar one with a white shorts with the blue. And we'll see the starting lineups are being announced right now for the Utah Jazz. It is Keontae George and Ochai Agbaji in the backcourt. Micah Potter along with Luka Samanic and Vernon Carey Jr. Vernon Carey Jr. was signed by the Jazz late in the year last year. He played 11 games with Washington last year, never played more than 6 minutes in any game. This guy was a top 5 recruit out of the 2019 high school class. He went to Duke. You don't go to Duke unless you're a top 5 recruit. And he spent 1 year at Duke before coming out and being the 32nd pick of the 2020 draft. He's 6'9", 270 is how he's listed. Be interesting to watch him play. And one other interesting name, and this one just came over and said hi to us a moment ago, Jared Butler, former Jazz second-round draft pick out of Baylor, is on the Oklahoma City Thunder roster. He is not starting tonight, as they will start Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, along with Ousmane Dieng and Trey Mann. Some high draft picks in this game. Ochai Agbaji picked 14th. Lucas Samanic was taken 19th. Chet Holmgren, number 2. Jalen Williams, 12. Trey Mann, 18. Ousmane Dieng, 11th. Vernon Carey, an early second-round pick. And Keontae George, the 16th pick, making his Summer League debut. And the tip underway. Chet Holmgren controls it, and the Thunder have it.
Well, I'll say he controlled it, boy. He was way up there.
Jalen Williams was number 2 in the Rookie of the Year last year with a hard left-hand drive on Abaji. Great matchup, puts up a floater and scores it. So Ochai Abaji and Lucas Samanic comes across half court, the first play of the game handling. Handoff from George to Abaji, right-hand dribble, top of the key, right side Samanic, breaks the lane, gets to the rack, layup up and in.
Well, that's impressive there.
Trey Mann behind the back, right side. Mann hasn't shot it quite as well as he'd wanted to in his second year in the NBA last year. Jalen Williams gives it left side to Jang. Back to Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara. His three straight down the barrel's good. He was on his route post All-Star. Jalen Williams averaged 19 points a game. Samanic left-hand drive, spins to his right hand, over Holmgren, misses at the rim. And a rebound to the other Jalen Williams, the Arkansas product. And a turnover by Trey Mann going the other way. What are you watching for, Ron?
Well, I think it's exactly what coaches look for, how guys play together, and just recognition out there on the floor, defense.
Abaji, left elbow jumper, good.
Yeah, most guys have those offensive skills. So you're trying to watch how they play with others, with teammates.
Here's Jang. Good NBA body, picked up in a trade from New York. Drafted, as we mentioned earlier, the 11th pick of the draft out of France. Misses the 8-footer on the left side. Samanic drives the left hand into Holmgren, trying to bump him out of the way. The spins, puts a right-hander up short at the rim. Rebound tapped around. Holmgren controls.
And that's the problem Holmgren's going to have. I mean, he's 208 pounds. You're just going to get banged around.
Here he is bringing it up himself, handled. He was the number one high school recruit in the country. Went to Gonzaga. Jang driving. Abaji meets him at the apex. Forces the shot up high up the rim. No good. Potter rebounds. Outlet to George. Underhand scoop to Carey. One dribble. Goes to the rim. Gets it blocked. Took him a long time to get up. Had a layup right there, but he didn't get up off the ground in time and gets it blocked. Thunder leading this 5-4 here in the early going.
Yeah, he should have caught and went right away. Instead, he kind of puts the ball on the floor and it gave the defender a chance to catch up.
5-4 Thunder. We played 4 10-minute quarters. There are 2 rule changes that they're experimenting with here. Otherwise, playing under NBA rules. We'll get to those in a second. Abaji goes left elbow to Samanic. Comes back and gets it in the corner. Rises for a jumper. Short. Holmgren rebounds. Chet brings it up to the front court. He's out of Minneapolis. Played with Jalen Suggs in high school. Bumping and backing in the post. Jazz dig down. Turnaround jumper is an air ball. And Holmgren goes to the floor. Fast break. Potter lob. Samanic layup.
There's an example, David. Who brought the ball up the floor? Potter. Got right into something.
Left side, Trey Mann, no good. On a 3. Mann shot just 31% last year for the Thunder from 3. Slipping from 36 the year before. Abaji working on Jalen Williams. Great matchup for Ochai. Lobbing up high. Carey goes up with one hand, but a charging foul taken by Jalen Williams out of Arkansas, who, when he was at Arkansas, led the nation in charges taken and was right near the top of the NBA list last year. Sitting in the front row with a white T-shirt, blue shorts, neon green shoes, Will Hardy. And a pass to Holmgren. He drops it out of bounds. Ryan Smith sitting to the left of Will Hardy.
Well, it's the loud shoes. Is that in nowadays? You got to help me out, David.
Will Hardy is just in.
But Ryan has on some very bright.
Ryan is just in.
He's just in, period.
Yeah. George, right-hand floater from 12, goes 14. Carey gets the offensive rebound. Powers up over Jalen Williams, misses. Rebound comes down to the other Jalen Williams, the guard. He comes to the front court and an in-and-out right-hand dribble, attacking the rack and putting it out the window and in. Fast break, quickly off the made basket. Abaji loses it off the foot of Mann, out of bounds under the basket. That'll be Jazz ball.
Pace of play in Summer League is always a lot faster.
They don't have to play 82.
Don't have to play 82.
Vernon Carey takes a 16-foot jumper and hits it.
And don't forget, you got 10-minute quarters.
Very good point. 8-7. Jazz lead it by 1. And Keontae George getting called for his first foul. Summer League usually gives you 7 instead of the usual 6. Sometimes they've stretched it out to 9. I didn't see what the new rule is. The 2 new rules this year, one is there is a technical foul for flopping. And the other one is there is a second coach's challenge.
You kind of lose your timeout anyway, right?
You don't get to save your timeout on the second one due to pace of play.
Right.
Or time of play. Here's Jalen Williams. Averaged 19 a game after the break. Dribbles it off the foot of Samanic out of bounds. He looks bigger.
I think what we're missing here is he had the afro, the big hair last year. Now it's...
Yeah, I was looking at the big backside as well.
Yeah, the backside might have something to do with that as well.
I didn't know that existed sitting up top for most games. We're down on the floor tonight. It started 62 last year for the Thunder. I think he should have won Rookie of the Year, frankly. Thought he had a better year than Paolo Banchero. And Chet Holmgren rolling through the lane, and Keontae George holds him for the second time, and that's the second foul on Keontae. Keontae's asking Micah Potter what he's allowed to do or not allowed to do. So far, Keontae's taken 1 shot in 4 minutes, has 2 fouls. 8-7. Jazz leading it by 1. Abaji overplays the inbound, just about steals it. Williams collects it, throws it back out to Holmgren. He drives the lane, gets to the rack, finger roll scoop is blocked and an air ball. And then guys going dominoing to the ground, and the foul's going to be called on Chet Holmgren.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique. So Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
There's a new score in store. Home Essentials just arrived at Marshall's. Our buyers scored deals on the latest decor trends to update your space, like rattan accent furniture, unique wall art, and more. With great deals always arriving, see what's new at Marshall's. More brands, more quality. Marshall's. Get the good stuff.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Nothing beats driving cross-country in our RV.
This is so much fun, Dad. I don't even need to look at my phone.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Jinx!
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive, and you could use the savings to make sure that RV is always ready to hit the road. Who knows, your teenager might actually put down her phone for 5 minutes. It could happen. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
At the Home Depot, we have laundry appliances that just fit. From the space you have, to the features you want, to the savings you need. Like a new GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo laundry machine that can wash and dry a large load in about 2 hours, without you ever having to transfer the load over. Get special buy savings like the GE Profile Ultra-Fast Combo laundry machine, plus an extra $100 off select laundry sets in-store and online at the Home Depot.
To buy a used home, buy new. Buy now at Visionary Homes. As a trusted award-winning Utah home builder, Visionary Homes understands that your home is the center of your life, bringing friends and family together, creating memories you'll cherish forever. Buy new, buy now at visionaryhomes.com.
Back with you here, Summer League in Salt Lake City at the Delta Center. David Locke along with Ron Boone, Kristen Spiro stats, Ben Russell engineering, Jamil Hawkins producing. The crew is back together. Get our basketball Jones in for a few days and nights here in July. Few substitutions in the game. Nick Ongunda in at center for the Utah Jazz. He's a high flyer out of DePaul with great shot blocking ability. Also in the game, Joey Hauser out of Michigan State just signed to a two-way contract. And then we mentioned him earlier, Colby Ross, who will be playing a little point guard for the Jazz. He played his college ball at Pepperdine, was in Italy last year, and his first pass is deflected. Abaji on the floor still, as is Micah Potter. Potter inbounds to Abaji, left corner. Guarded by Jalen Williams. That's an NBA starting guard matchup right there. Ross penetrates, keeps the dribble alive, fades away on the baseline, missing. Rebounds tapped around off the top of the glass, and it'll go back to the Thunder.
Yeah, most
Chet Holmgren is still in the ballgame. Sorry, Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, they're going to give him probably as much playing time as possible, David. He hasn't played in a couple of years, And
no substitutions for the Thunder. They're starting five loaded with first-round picks. Jalen Williams here. Drive hard left hand out of Baji. Stops to the elbow and hits. Boy, he is good. I mean, he was flat dominant. Post All-Star break, he averaged 19 points, but on 55% shooting. Here's Ross in the line. Floater off the back rim. No good. Rebounds tipped around. Jazz have it. Hauser back to Ross. Right side Potter. 4-3. Too long. And the rebound to Williams of the Thunder. Hands it back to Trey Mann. Played his college ball at Florida. He's a 2-year NBA player. Lost a little bit of time last year. Driving the lane. Bounce pass out to the wing. Bobbled. Jang puts it on the floor. Top to Williams. Jalen Williams out of Arkansas. Driving with the right hand and puts it up and in. 11-8 Thunder. Ross initiating a kind of a traditional point guard half-court set. Hand off to Abaji. Turns the corner. Drives the lane. Gets to the rim. Short on the layup. Rebound comes down to man of the Thunder. One hand outlet pass to Holmgren. Chet can shoot it from the outside, but instead it's 7-1s. He puts it on the deck. Works inside. Fades away with an off-balance Nowitzki shot. Missed it. Rebound Hauser. Jazz in their black uniforms with spotlight yellow sides. Comes to the front court. Abaji. Rise and fire. 3. No. Rebound comes down to Ungendu. He puts up the hook shot. That's misses. He's much more of a defensive player than an offensive player out of DePaul. Averaged 13 points a game for the Demon Deacons last year. Trey Mann driving. Right-hander. Off the window. Pops out. Abaji rebounds. Jazz pushing. Ross to the front court. Right corner Hauser. 47% from 3 last year at Michigan State. Back up to Ross. Works to the free throw line. Chest to Abaji. Checks his feet. Dribbles once with his left hand. Fires the 3. Nails it. Tied at 11.
You know what corner? That was the left corner. Last year, he had a lot of success from that right corner during the course of the year.
Baji's got 5 points here. Jalen Williams, 3 for the Thunder. Back rim, no good. Hauser boards. Outlet to Ross, 3:14 left here in the first quarter. Ross puts the pedal down, drives, cut off. Hesitates, now works it again in the middle of the paint. Flares back to Abaji, resets Ross, rotates to Hauser. Here's his 3. It's off the back of the glass from 3-point range, and Holmgren grabs the rebound. Third board for Holmgren in 7 minutes. He's 0 for 3 shooting. Trey Mann, beautiful rotation on the 3 up and in. Hauser. Hands off to Abaji, guarded by Jalen Williams. Great matchup. Williams reaching with the left hand. Abaji keeps the dribble out, hangs in the air, puts up the shot, airballs.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique. So Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
Eating is an emotional experience, which is why managing
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique. So Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
diamonds as old as the earth itself. Or with our flickering firelight diamonds, get a warmer glow and a bigger diamond. And our Flashpoint created diamonds are even bigger and sparkling as springtime. So come to Morgan Jewelers, home of more choices and better prices.
Find the location nearest you at morganjewelers.com.
Pretty incredible crowd here. And a shot crazy town. Yep. More than I think people realize. Everyone thinks about Indiana as the basketball capital. This place is pretty close. Jared Butler's in the game for the Oklahoma City Thunder, former Jazz second-round draft pick. He's guarding Ross of Utah. Ross comes off a pick, drives the lane, gets the window, tries to throw a lob. It's knocked away by Williams of the Thunder. Here's Shackelford, left side three, no good. Shackelford played at Alabama. Keontae George with the ball. He's been quiet here in the opening going. Inside to Samanic, bumping, backing, drop steps, gets a shot blocked by Jalen Williams, who came from the weak side, the Santa Clara Jalen Williams, those 6'6" wing. Jared Butler driving. Flare outside to Jang for three. His knuckleball swirls out, and the rebound comes to Samanic. Ross on the run for the Jazz. Gives back to Samanic left side. Bounces it over. Ongenda driving. Right-hand runner. Good. A little bit of a kind of a hook shot for Ongenda.
Whatever the case, it's a shot that's kind of been lost in the NBA.
Williams, another pull-up mid-range jumper. Front rimmed it. Rebound comes down to Samanic. Knocked away by Hauser. Picked up by Williams of the Thunder. Hands it off to Shackelford. Right wing Butler. Jared working the one-on-one drive. Reverse side layup up and in. It sat on the cup. Tantalizingly fell back down into the hole. Ross splits by the defense. Gets to the rack. High layup too hard. And the rebound comes down to Jenk. Keontae George, 6 minutes. 0 for 1 for the field. No rebounds, no assists. He has not had an impact yet. And that's what happens a little bit when you play this up-tempo. Your guard might not always get it. Maybe you don't always know who ends up with the ball.
Yeah, exactly. But, that's a good thing. You learn how to play in a different system.
Samanic driving. Right-hander, no good. Shooting woes for the Jazz. They're at 26% here in the first quarter. Butler in and out right-hand dribble, no good. Rebound, Samanic taps it to himself. Brings it to the front court. Samanic gets to the middle of the lane. Flips it to the corner to Hauser. Dead-eye college shooter, short on this one. Rebound comes down to Jang with 18 seconds left in the quarter. Thunder is shooting 35%. Jazz are 6 of 24 from the field. A Picasso it has not been. And it hasn't even been a Jackson Pollock. Just been third-grade art. And a foul as the Jazz push in the back of Jared Butler, and that's on Keontae George. 3 fouls on Keontae George in 7 minutes.
Yeah. You get to the point sometimes, especially big men, I think, more so than it's when they start playing defense with your hands more so than with your elbow. Well,
it's interesting, Ron, to your point there, all 3 of George's fouls are off ball.
Yeah.
None of them have been when he's guarding, as he plays nice defense here, forcing Jalen Williams into a miss. Well, if Keontae George was the headliner, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists in 7 minutes, and 3 fouls. Ochai Agbaji goes 2 of 6 with a 3 to lead the Jazz with 5 points. They trail 16-13 at the end of 1 here in Salt Lake City.
Jersey? Check. Hat? Check. Face paint? Check. Snacks? Don't forget your favorite Ruffles, the perfect sidekick to your game day. Because no matter if you're cheering for our Utah Jazz from the stands or hosting the ultimate game day throwdown with your crew, there's a Ruffles flavor to go with it. So grab that bag because it's time to Ruffles, proud partner of your Utah Jazz.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa, incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number one, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Korn Ferry Tour champion.
The Korn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits. And since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americafirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Through a quarter of basketball, Jazz shot 25%, the Thunder shot 33%. Sometimes that happens in Summer League. These guys have not been together for a long period of time, and then you end up with that happening.
And then another thing, David, is that the game is a lot faster than probably some of these guys from college, and just not ready for it. You start rushing your shot on some occasions, and then you get to the point where guys are trying to play their game in a short period of time because, not like college where you're going to play 34 of the 40 minutes in a ball game.
Jazz fans, season tickets for next season are still available, along with some other great game packages, all available at UtahJazz.com. Ross, Carey, Samanic, Hauser on the floor with Keontae George for the Jazz. Shackelford of the Thunder takes the miss, brings it to the front court. Down low, Holmgren. And his shot's blocked by Samanic. He gets it back and puts it up and in. They really expect Holmgren to be a major defensive force with his length. He's got a little KT tape on his right ankle. And boy, is he spindling. Keontae George, pull-up jumper right side, short, 0 for 2 on the day. Shackelford rebounds. Butler. And a foul off the ball as Holmgren gets bumped around. Looks like a bobblehead doll as he gets bumped through some picks, and a foul on the Jazz.
Yeah, Hauser trying to be a little physical with him out there on the floor. I mean, why not? He's only 208 pounds.
What's your thought on that, Ron? Can he survive at 208 pounds?
This is, I think it's going to be a problem for him, especially when he gets down into the paint, and he just can't muscle people around. I thought maybe they put a little muscle on him, but that hasn't happened.
No, they did. He was
did?
195 last time we saw him.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so 13 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps that rate, he'll be 230 by the time he's 30. Right side, Samanic for 3, no good. Rebound tapped around, and the Thunder have it. Jazz are 6 of 27 shooting. Butler, right side. Gives it off, driving the lane is Shackelford. Samanic defending well, flying in for the rebound. They're the Thunder, though. And Maldonado gives to Holmgren. He goes to dunk, and he missed the dunk. This has not been the same Holmgren as we saw in his debut. Carey bumps into Holmgren, then gets fouled at the rim.
He hasn't played in a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference in coming off the college season, going through a few draft workouts. He didn't do many at the high pick like himself. His debut last year in the Summer League, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 blocks. You know, the funny one on Holmgren, you know who he made his college debut against? Utah Tech. Was not their name at the time, but he had 14 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 blocks in his college debut for Gonzaga against Utah Tech.
That's a pretty good start. That's a good note there as well.
Added 14 pounds to the frame and still looks like the wind could blow him over. First free throw for Carey, no good. Here comes the second. But a tough shooting night for both teams. Thunder are hot compared to the Jazz. They're 8 of 26 with 2 threes in 8 attempts. The Jazz are 6 of 27 with 1 3 in 8 attempts. Missed 3 by Shackelford out to Jared Butler, and he hits the 3 on the right side. The Baylor Bear, Jared Butler.
Will he stick with this team?
They gave him a chance out of the G League last year. He's guarding here against Abaji. Up top, Carey. Carey driving on Holmgren, and that'll be a foul on Carey. Swings the elbows across the jaw of Holmgren in the foul. You know, I thought it was an interesting comment by the head coach of the Thunder during this G League about Jared Butler in the conversation we had with him today, that he's been really good off the ball, which is really where Jared maybe is going to find his way is as a shooter, because the problem is his body says he needs to be on the ball at 6'3".
And he played with the ball in his hands a lot.
Yeah, Holmgren driving with a left hand to the rack, and he finishes. And that's what has people excited about the 7'1" Chet Holmgren. Here's Keontae George. Swings it over to Potter for three. Got it. Micah Potter, who spent much of last year with the Salt Lake Stars, played just 7 games with the Jazz. Butler driving again to the rack, scores, and he's fouled by Potter. And Jared Butler's got his offensive juice flowing with his third field goal in 5 attempts in 5 minutes. 7:21 left here, second quarter. Thunder now lead by 8, 25-17. As Keontae George goes over to talk to Evan Brads.
So I wondered back to Butler and his ability to play off the ball. So evidently that they thought that was something that he needed to work on, or he didn't.
Well, he praised him for it.
Yes.
And I thought it was just an interesting note because it is probably where he's best, but you probably need him to be on the ball at times. Abaji driving, going to pack it. Holmgren meets him with 2 hands above the rack and blocks it. Fast break the other way to the rim. Layup by Maldonado up and in, plus a foul on Keontae George, and that'll be George's 4th foul. 12-4 Thunder run. Abaji went to go dunk it. Holmgren blocked it with 2 hands.
He is 7'1".
Yeah.
And I think he has jumping ability there as well.
He was a defensive force in college. Yeah. I mean, of a mass, probably the best defensive player college basketball seen since Anthony Davis.
Or Bill Walton.
Well, that's longer past.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah.
George bounces to Potter, played at Ohio State and Wisconsin in his college ball. Gives to Abaji. Fading back at the free throw line. Back rim, no good. Rebound, Keontae George driving and a foul. It's George comes to the basket. He'll get 2 free throws. First appearance for Tavion Kinsey out of Columbus, Ohio. Played 5 years at Marshall for the Jazz. You know what's interesting on all these guys, Ron, is that all these guys played 5 years. They had the COVID year, and so they were super seniors.
Yeah.
And almost all of them played, as I've prepped for these games, almost all of these kids played for 2 schools. The transfer portal, the 5th year, taking the extra year somewhere else. But almost all of them played at 2 schools, except for Hunter Maldonado, who scored a moment. He played 6 years at Wyoming. 6. COVID did funny things. Holmgren working one-on-one, spins, ball fakes, steps through with the left hand and scores at highlight reel right there.
Absolutely.
You'll see that one tonight if you're watching highlight shows. 31-18. Keontae George, beautiful jab step, steps into a 3, hits it off the glass, no good. Rebound stolen by Carey, attacks with a left hand over Holmgren and scores it. You won't see that on highlight reels because it doesn't fit the narrative. 31-20. Thunder by 11. Holmgren ball fakes the 3. Carey bites. Holmgren drives. Left hand finish at the rack for Chet Holmgren.
Starting to heat up a little bit there. It's a little shot plate.
Carey attacking the other side at the rim. Finishes on a foul. Holmgren never got up the floor. He looks exhausted. Hands on his shorts, bent over asking for a sub. Holmgren's got 8 points and 4 rebounds in 11 minutes.
Yeah, he's tired. He's wore out. Altitude and the fact that he hasn't played in a year.
Yeah, he is struggling over there on the bench right now. They haven't brought him a bucket or anything. It's not that bad, but he looks like that could be the next move. Would not be stunned if the bucket arrived here shortly, the way he's looking right now. Carey misses the free throw on the three-point play. Jazz are down 11 with 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara comes in the game, immediately fires a three and hits. Can't imagine we're seeing him again after tonight. He is on a different level than everybody else in this arena.
I thought early in the ballgame we'd get into this after the break, though.
He's got 12, and the Thunder lead at 36-22, 5:55 left in the second quarter here in Salt Lake City.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa. Incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number one, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
I didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
.55 left here in the first half. Shooting has been an issue. 9 of 33 for the Jazz, 27%, 2 of 10 from 3. The 9 field goals for the Jazz, 1 by Micah Potter, 2 by Luka Samanic on 8 attempts, 3 for Vernon Carey, 2 for Ochai Agbaji on 8 attempts, and 1 for Nick on Genda.
You know, and shooting is very, very important in this league nowadays. I mean, you can come in, you better be a very good defensive player or a very good rebounder in order to make sure that, you know, you can, you know, get some time in this league.
Let's simplify it. If you can't shoot, you don't get to play.
Yeah.
Agbaji driving, lane, fakes for the right, goes to the left and lays it up and in. Nice move on Jalen Williams of Arkansas. Both Jalen Williamses are on the floor. Terrence Mann, Jang, and on the floor for the Thunder, and Maldonado. So Chet Holmgren, the only starter not on the floor for the Thunder. His man spins the lane, misses the left-hander at the rim. Potter takes the rebound and taps it to Agbaji. Here comes Keontae George. Out top to Agbaji, driving, and he's fouled by Maldonado. Keontae George so far has 1 point at the free throw line. He has a rebound and an assist in 11 minutes. He's 0 for 3 shooting. He has 4 fouls. Kelly Olynyk's in the house. He's on the TV broadcast right now. Yes, hat on backwards. Don't worry. It's still Kelly Olynyk. Kinsey, great career at Marshall. Top to Agbaji for 3, and he buried it. Ochai. Crowd loves it. 10 points for Ochai. His 4th field goal, second 3. 5 minutes to play first half. Jalen Williams averaged 19 a game after the break. Driving to the rack, scoring. He's just better than everyone else on the floor by a lot right now. Wow. You kind of love it when these guys who, I mean, in my book, he was Rookie of the Year over Paulo Banchero. Like people decided for some reason in November that Paulo Banchero was winning the Rookie of the Year.
It's amazing how they do that early in the year. Boy, he's got to be Rookie of the Year.
All right. And just completely ignored the fact he shot like 37% for the last 3 months of the season on a team that wasn't winning games, while Jalen Williams was averaging 19 points, shooting 55% on a team that was going to the playoffs. Like, this kid is bona fide. Like, he's on the path to be an all-star in the NBA, and it's fun to watch right now when you have a bunch of guys trying to make it and one kid out here who is just on a different level. Here's George driving. Keontae double clutches, and he gets bailed out on a blocking foul. He traveled. But they get the blocking foul instead. He made a move that he thought was going to work, and the defender guessed it right, but they get him. He drew the foul instead. He'll go to the free throw line. Keontae's playing lighter. Played a lot of 3 at Baylor, and so he added weight, went to about 210. He's playing down about 190, 195 now.
Yeah, I found that interesting that he said he lost weight after picking up.
210 at Baylor, 185 is what he said he's playing now. 5-star recruit out of the IMG Capital, or IMG Academy. Chose Baylor over a few blue bloods, Kansas and Kentucky. Splits the free throws. Here's Jalen Williams. Behind the back, drive to the rack, lays it up and in. 16. Steal. Trey Mann, oh my goodness! Trey Mann went up with one hand, climbed the Mount of Potter, and put down a hammer. Woo!
Well, I was trying to see, David, did he get some help off the shoulder
He
of
did.
Potter?
He literally climbed on top of Potter. Wow!
Yeah.
The arena abuzz. Here's Mann feeling it, driving, flares it back up top, stolen by George. Behind the back dribble, crosses over on Maldonado to the rack, layup, good. Trey Mann fires a 3 the other way, short, long rebound, Jalen Williams. His 3's good. Man, he's great, 19. Keontae George comes off a pick, terminates, gives to Carey. Carey driving on Jalen Williams, puts a shoulder in him, gets in the lane, puts up a nice little left-hand floater. Game has sped up into a little bit more one-on-one action right now as Jang spins on Abaji, pump fakes him, puts it off the glass, can't finish, rebound Potter. Push ahead to Abaji, left side, guarded by Jalen Williams and knocks it away. Subs coming as altitude kicks in. Chet Holmgren checks back in, so the Thunder have their starting 5 on, all which were top 15 draft picks other than Jalen Williams out of Arkansas. Oh my gosh, Ron, I don't know. I just saw the replay. That was just awesome.
Yeah, he was just like he kept rising, and when you see guys that kept rising, it's like they had a little help.
He did. He had strings attached from the sky. He has help in his legs because that was some vert. Nice drive by Ross, lays it up and in. Arkansas's Jalen Williams, the center, gives to Holmgren. Driving with the right hands, terminates. Backdoor cut by Mann in the lane, floater, and he's fouled. Well, we've had some fun highlights here in the second quarter. And the fans are all going to break talking about that dunk by Trey Mann. We will be too. 2:53 left in the second quarter. Thunder 45, Jazz 34 here in Salt Lake City.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits, and since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americafirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa. Incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
Shaping a game plan for your family's healthcare involves more than just X's and O's. It's being there when you need them the most and when you least expect it. As the trusted healthcare provider for the Utah Jazz family and yours, University of Utah Health has the right playbook for keeping your team healthy, no matter what age or need. Get the same care the Utah Jazz rely on by visiting uofuhealth.org. That's uofuhealth.org.
.253 left here in the second quarter. Bryce Sensabaugh and Taylor Hendricks both out tonight, but at our halftime, we'll hear from the two of them. They were on the Round Ball Roundup podcast with JP Chunga. Take some of that work that JP did. You see our friend Nio Campbell today, Ron Boone?
I did, absolutely.
Had a nice conversation with her at practice. All right, Jazz here, trailing 46-34 with 2:53 left. Box score numbers you're probably interested in. Keontae George, 13 minutes, 1 of 4 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 4 from the line, 2 rebounds and assists, 4 fouls and a steal. Ochai Agbaji, 4 of 10 from the field, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Jazz have not shot it well, but they are up to 36%, which is really hot compared to where they were. Agbaji initiates, left side to Ross. Comes off a Potter pick with a right-hand dribble into the black of the paint. Flares it out to the wing to Hauser. His shot is blocked by Jang. Jang on the fast break the other way, steps through to the rack, and Agbaji meets him at the apex and blocks it. Here come the Jazz the other way. Ross hesitation dribble to the rack, high floater, no. Tipped in by Samanic, no. Tipped in a second time by Samanic, yes. 47-36, Thunder by 11. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, averaged 19 a game after the All-Star break. Gives it up top to Man. Right side, Jang for 3. That ball hits. Jang was the 11th pick of the draft a year ago. Played 39 games for the Thunder after playing 9 games for the G League team, averaging 17 points a game. Agbaji turns it over. Trey Mann to the front court. Top to Jalen Williams, back to Trey Mann. His 3 is good, and the Thunder have jumped out to a 53-36 advantage. Samanic, left side Potter. Back to Agbaji. Quick release 3. Good. Ochai Agbaji having a nice game. Well, Ochai Agbaji and Jalen Williams of the Thunder were the 2 headliners coming in, and they both look like it. Here's Jang. Thunder traded with the Knicks to get that 11th pick of the draft. Oh, goodness. Jalen Williams going through the lane, cocks the right hand, wants to do something dangerous and delicious. And instead he's fouled and devilishly smiles as he walks to the bench, wondering what he might have been able to accomplish. He looks to Trey Mann, goes, I was trying to equal what you did a few minutes ago. 53-39. Bryce Sensabaugh of the Jazz on the Jazz bench. He's recovering from knee surgery. Taylor Hendricks is working his hamstring back into shape. Don't know if we'll see either of them in Salt Lake City. Hopefully we'll see Taylor in Vegas. Johnny Juzang is on the end of the Jazz bench. Substitution, Keontae George comes back in with 1:20 left. Free throw's good.
Just tell the experience.
Got 21 in the first half, does Jalen Williams of the Thunder. Potter, a little off the elbow, bounce pass to Agbaji coming through the lane. He finds a cutting Ross, who's held by Jared Butler.
Shooting motion?
They're going to
guess not.
Say no. Ross tried to lobby for it, but to no avail. Inbound to Potter. Sets Agbaji at the top. Samanic pops out for a 3. Short. Ross, 6'1", goes up for the board and gets it. Out to George. George throws it away. Jared Butler with the defense backpedaling. Attacks the rack. Misses the shot. He'll get fouled, though, as he had the defense backpedaling. And Jared Butler will go to the line. Butler's had a nice first quarter with 8 points in the first half. Thunder 55, Jazz 39 at halftime. We'll get to know Taylor Hendricks. We might get to know Bryce Sensabaugh as well, but probably just Taylor Hendricks. Free throw by Jared is good. Okay. Jared spent last year in the G League, mostly with Detroit's pro G League team. 23 games, he averaged 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, shot 44% from the field and 35% from 3. 18-point Thunder advantage. Potter, hands to Agbaji. Left-hand drive. off balance to a cutting Ross who bobbles, but it falls over to Potter in the right corner, and he promptly picks it up, shoots the three, and hits as though it looked like it was all planned that way. Fortuitous bounce. Butler shot 40% in his time with the Jazz. Hesitation, step back three, no good. And Jalen Williams at Arkansas keeps it alive to Holmgren, who drives, pulls up at the elbow, and hits. 18 seconds left in the quarter. Deontay George drives the lane, draws the foul. Not sure coaches want you shooting with shot clock off with 14 seconds left, but we'll go with it. And he goes to the free throw line for free throws. We're in Kobe's, I believe.
Oklahoma with 59 points in a 10-minute quarter ball game.
Yeah, it's not a great defensive outing so far by the Jazz. George's free throw is no good. He's 2 for 5 from the line tonight.
He is struggling. Next ball game, it'll be just the opposite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Might have claimed you're not nervous, but probably were a little. Shot 35% on pull-up threes in college, but just 30% on mid-range shots off the bounce. So he'll have to figure that out. Did not finish the year particularly well, efficiently at Baylor. Shot clock's off. There's 9 seconds left, and here's Jalen Williams. He's got 21 and a half. Between the legs, 3, 4, 5 times. Now crossing over, driving, scooping, and short. Rebound to Baji, and the quarter comes to an end. It's halftime, and the Oklahoma City Thunder lead the Utah Jazz 59-43. We'll come back, review the first half, and get to know Taylor Hendricks as we come back with more here in Salt Lake City at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
I didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits, and since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americafirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Woodley Real Estate, a proud sponsor of the Utah Jazz, is a full-service commercial and residential real estate firm helping clients invest, buy, sell, lease, and develop real estate. With over 20 years of experience, they've represented individuals from seasoned investors to first-time homebuyers and businesses from publicly traded companies, including Qualtrics, Vivint, and Domo, to Silicon Slope's fastest-growing startups. Woodley Real Estate, finding homes for Utah's businesses and the people who run them. Learn more about Woodley Real Estate at woodley.co.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa, incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
97.5 KZNS FM Colville, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
At the half here in Salt Lake City at the Delta Center, and the Utah Jazz trailing 59-43. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara was an all-rookie performer. Second in the Rookie of the Year Valley. The wing player for Oklahoma City has been the star, 21 points for him. 3 other Thunder players in double figures, 10 for Chet Holmgren, 10 for Trey Mann, and 10 for former Jazzman Jared Butler. For the Utah Jazz, Ochai Agbaji leads the way with 13 points on 5 of 11 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. 9 for Vernon Carey Jr., 6 each for Micah Potter and Lucas Samanic. Samanic was 3 of 11 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3. Keontae George played 14 minutes, was 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3, 3 of 6 from the line. He did have 4 fouls to go with 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Jazz shot 37% from the field and were 5 of 15 from 3, and that's only after they heated up. The first quarter combined for 29 points. The second quarter combined for 73 points. How does that happen? The Thunder shoot 58% and score 43 points in 10 minutes in that second quarter.
Yeah, that's what's amazing, though. It just shows that they have some shooters on this team, and probably more experienced team there as well, especially with the Williams players, out there on the floor. So you can just tell the difference in experience, but defense got to get a little better for the Jazz. A little better second quarter, though, for the Jazz, as they ended up 11 for 22 for 50%.
Those halftime stats brought to you by America First, proud sponsor of the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. Get your exclusive Jazz Visa debit card today only at America First and AmericaFirst.com. We'll hear from Taylor Hendricks. We come back in our player profile here in Salt Lake City.
When it comes time to move, it's always a hassle. Loading everything in the truck, hoping the priceless antique from your mother doesn't break, and trying to juggle the kids and dog in the middle of it all is enough to drive anyone crazy. But it doesn't have to be that way. The friendly, background-checked movers at Bailey's Moving and Storage have the expertise to move your family across town or even around the world. So when it's time to move, think Bailey's Moving and Storage. Call today at 801-218-2640 or check them out online at baileysallied.com.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Their experienced staff of technicians repairs all types of snow plows, snow blowers, and lawnmowers, and small engines, and are trained to answer questions about lawns, gardens, snow removal, and landscaping products. So whether you're digging in the dirt or digging in the snow, check out Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 2 locations to serve you, in Salt Lake City and Springville.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
He didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
Hi, this is Ned Siegfried of Siegfried & Jensen. We can help you if you've been injured in an accident. We've been handling injury cases and only injury cases for over 30 years. If you've been injured in an auto accident, you need and deserve an experienced law firm in your corner. Call us for a free consultation at 801-222-2222. That's 801-222-2222. You can also learn more by going to siegfriedandjensen.com. We're here to help you.
Brought to you by Chatbooks. With Chatbooks, you can print your everyday moments right from your phone with Monthbooks, their monthly photo book subscription with over 100,000 5-star reviews, starting at just $10 a month. Try your first month free using the code UtahJazz through the end of the month.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa. Incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
Utah Jazz trailing 59-43 here at the Delta Center. Let's hear from Taylor Hendricks. He's not playing tonight, the number 9 pick of the draft. Told JP Chunga on Roundball Roundup about his first impressions of the Utah Jazz.
I like Colin Sexton, just since high school. So he was one of those players that I always watched. And, Jazz on the West Coast, so I didn't really get to catch too many games before. So.
And right now, Taylor Hendricks sitting talking with Will Hardy. He and Bryce Sensabaugh with Hardy in between the two of them. And Taylor shared what his NBA motivation is.
One of the things is just me dreaming about this my whole life. I've been playing basketball since I was 5. So, the NBA has always been on my mind. And, I know it takes, a lot of hard work. And, I'm willing to do that just because I love the game so much. And
And finally, Taylor talks about whom he models his game after.
I would say like Bam Adebayo or Jaren Jackson Jr., like those type of guys that, kind of do a little bit of everything, defend, block shots, and then like our key roles in the offense and be able to stretch the floor and just things like that.
Bam Adebayo or Jaren Jackson Jr. would work just fine for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I was talking to Danny Ainge today about comps on players. He's like, I don't like comps because nobody ever comps anybody except for they're an all-star. I was like, that's fair. He's like, and no one's ever been right. Maybe Taylor's going to be right about himself.
I was thinking in that first half, David, that most coaches come into a game thinking, okay, our game plan is this. Our substitution pattern is going to be this way as well. But once like the Oklahoma City Thunder, the altitude starts to get the players, now things have to change up. Hungered, I'm tired, I got to come out of the ball game. So the pattern actually changes quite a bit.
First possession for the Jazz. Samanic misses. By the way, that player profile is brought to you by WGU, the university for you. Get a respected degree on your time and less time. Learn more at wgu.edu. Here's Jalen Williams playing the second half, and he turns it over with a high dribble.
Yeah.
The Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara was the show in the first half.
Yeah, sometimes you can beat guys off the dribble when you double dribble.
A friend of mine referred to his business once as we can double dribble and nobody else can. He was right. He was doing very well. Samanic's three on the left side's no good, and the rebound comes down. He is not, we talked about this last year with Samanic, Ron. Beautiful shot. It just doesn't go in enough.
I thought at the end of the year he started making that shot quite a bit.
Just 3 for 13 tonight, 0 for 4 from threes. Loose ball rebound. Carey has it.
He definitely has a great release.
Looks fabulous. His body's great, 6'9", as he was an early draft pick by the Spurs, but he's just never quite put it together. His Carey's three is no good. Samanic signed with the Jazz on a 10-day contract. Trey Mann's three is good. Samanic for the Jazz out of Croatia. As we mentioned, was the 19th pick for the Spurs, but he played just 36 games in 2 years. Keontae George drives, goes to dunk, gets blocked by Holmgren at the rim. Trey Mann, pull-up three in transition is good, and Trey Mann's having a day. Timeout, Evan Brads. The Thunder lead now by 22. Oklahoma City 65, Utah 43, with 8:33 left here in the third quarter at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits, and since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americafirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's game time, and you're in the locker room ready to take the field. But suddenly, you notice a player you don't recognize. He's wearing your team's jersey, and he even knows your name. But you've never seen him before now. Would you trust this stranger with your team's playbook? That's exactly how phishing scams work. And the first quarter of 2022 saw the highest volume of phishing attacks ever recorded. Protect your business with the Les Olson Security Suite from Les Olson IT. Learn more at lesolson.com.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA. And the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team. Plus, one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
65-43. The highlight for the Jazz right now, Kelly Olynyk on the big screen. He and his wife in matching Nike Panda shoes.
I have some of those, David.
No, you have Air Force Ones.
Oh, is that what I have? I'm sorry.
That's okay, though. If you had Pandas, Ron, you should have kept them in the box and sold them. Unless you have the income that Kelly Olynyk has, then you and your wife both get to wear them. The rest of us keep our Pandas in a box and sell them. You'll get there.
I'll get there.
On the last plane flight of the year, and maybe smartly it was the last plane flight of the year. I don't remember where we were coming back from. But Ron, I showed Ron how you can build your own shoes on Nike. And Ron and I did exactly that and built Ron his own custom pair of shoes. Keontae George, 3 on the left side's long. Abaji climbs to the 7th floor and taps it back to Carey. Samanic bypasses. Potter at the top, jumps into a dribble drive. Scoop to Carey, goes by Carey and turns it over. Thunder lead by 22 as Trey Mann and Jalen Williams are having huge days for the Thunder. Mann, a 2-year NBA pro. Jalen Williams should have won Rookie of the Year last year. He misses the 3 here. He's got 21. Trey Mann's got 16. Potter pulled for 3, well short. Ricochet rebound comes down to Williams. Right side, Holmgren. Chat, number 2 pick of the draft a year ago, tries to drive and draws a foul.
Oh, boy, that was not a very popular foul there by the young official.
Good call, though.
Yeah.
Don't you think? You thought back call?
Little weak. It was a weak call.
Okay. Was a foul. Whether the game could have moved on without it, that's fine.
Exactly.
Holmgren flares to the left side. Jalen Williams is unguarded. He goes to the basket, dipsy-doos, and lays it up and in.
So that's
Jazz allowed 40 points in 10 minutes in the second quarter, and the Thunder have not cooled off since. Samanic, 3 right side, no good. Carey flies in, tries to follow, but can't. And Samanic goes to 0 for 5 and a fast break dunk for Chet Holmgren. Evan Brads pops off the bench. Keontae George works the right side of the floor. Hesitation dribble. Goes between his legs. Drives now with the right hand. Puts up the floater. Scores it. He's got a nice wiggle to his game. He plays with a little hesitation. He's not an incredible athlete. He's not going to be high flying over people, but he uses and maneuvers with a pretty tight handle to get himself free from watching him at Baylor.
And I judge guys driving to the basket if they lose the left hand. I've seen him go to his right quite a bit. I've not seen him go to that left and maybe use his left hand there as well. Abaji, we saw that late in the year last year to the point where he was driving using that left hand.
It's going to be super interesting to watch Ochai Abaji this year. Foul here on the Jazz as Jang goes to line for the Thunder. They took Ochai Abaji and took his in the final 20 games of the year and just threw him in the middle of the deep end of the pool without any floaties on and basically said, learn how to swim. He shot 39% in those final 20 games, only 33% from 3. Those are numbers that, were fine because you threw him in the deep end of the pool and just told him to live.
Right.
Now it's going to be a question of, as Ochai evolves, how do you become efficient with that kind of burden?
And how quickly and how can he improve those numbers and really look comfortable out there on the floor doing it.
Keontae George initiates the offense. Goes to Carey at the top of the key, and here comes Ochai. Fakes the handoff, does Carey. Big steps through the lane, off balance left-hander, no good. And Jalen Williams, who's a great positional defender. Rebounds. Jalen Williams, who's, I believe, half Vietnamese, and the first NBA player with Vietnamese descent. 3-ball left side for Kinsey is good. But leaking out on the other side, Jalen Williams, and fouling him from behind is Kinsey, who hit the 3 and then rushed back. Jazz having some breakdowns in transition defense right now. Front row for the Jazz. I believe that's Scott Morrison, who was on the G League head coach last year, is now on the Jazz staff with Will Hardy and Ryan Smith. Only reason I say believe is because Scott was bearded by the end of last year, and I haven't seen him clean shaven. So I could be wrong. Jazz have one member of their coaching staff that's unique. It's the Finnish national coach. He's here with the Jazz as a special assistant. Came out in January, spent some time with the team as well. Abaji, left side to Kinsey. Pass back up top is deflected by Jalen Williams of the Thunder. Shot clock's at 6. Here comes Abaji driving. in the lane, right-hand floater, offensive foul as Jalen Williams of Arkansas takes it. That's what he does. Evan Brads looks back to see whether they should challenge or not.
You got 4 fouls on a
You might never be forgiven by an official for challenging them down 24 at a summer league game in the third quarter. They might remember. Evan's like, well, if I'm a head coach in like 6 years in the NBA and that coach, that ref, yeah, okay, we're not challenging. Here's Jang, second-year player. Spent most of the year last year bouncing between the G League and the Thunder. Short on the shot. George rebounds. Keontae to the front court. Keontae to the rack. Under finger roll scoop is short. Abaji's tip is no good. Shackelford, the left-hander, fires the three, and he's fouled. And he hits for the Thunder. Shackelford will go to the line. Jaden Shackelford grew up in California but played his college ball at Alabama. He is a big-time recruit. He was a McDonald's All-American. Played last year for the Oklahoma City Blue.
A lefty.
Free throw rattles out. Who's the best left-handed shooter of all time, Ron? I have no idea. Abaji driving to the rack, scoops to the right, misses. Jalen Williams taps it to Jalen Williams, which is really confusing. And Jalen Williams drives to the rack, gets it knocked away by Kinsey, recovers, goes back up, out of bounds off of Jalen Williams. Same one that for the last sequence.
Offensive foul on...
No, I just think off, out of bounds.
Oh,
Williams
out of
got hit
bounds.
in the face. And
he wants out of the ball game.
His right eye is bothering him, so Trey Mann will check in.
You want to know if a guy's hurt, call a play for him and see if he's see if he wants to come out of the ball game.
Well, here he blows up a handoff between Ross and Abaji. Gives it down low and missed by the Jazz. Ongenda with a miss. Here's Jared Butler. Left side, Jang. High arcing three, no good. Rebound on Genda. Ongenda played it to Paul. Great shot blocker. 3 shot blocks a game. Abaji, quick release three off the back handle. No good. And a foul on Kinsey on the row. Oh, no, they call it on the Thunder. Ongenda is the 4th all-time in block shots at DePaul. Ron Boone, I will give you a pat on the back if you can name one of the 3 people ahead of him on the all-time block shots list. At one point in time, here's your clue, he was the greatest player in the history of the game.
Wilt Chamberlain?
Wilt Chamberlain didn't play.
He played at DePaul.
At the time, at one point in time, I believe this man was the best player to ever play in the NBA. He is one of the... Colby Ross drives offensive foul. All right, here's the trivia question. Nick Ongenda is the 4th all-time in block shots in the history of DePaul. One of the 3 people ahead of him at one point in time was arguably the greatest player in the history of the NBA who played at DePaul. Will Chamberlain played at Kansas.
Yeah.
So, wait a sec. Now, and Bill Russell played at USF, right?
Yes.
So those 2 were the greatest players in the history of the game by the mid-60s and 70s, right?
Correct.
So nobody since then from DePaul has been better than either of those 2, right? So this person must have been before Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain and played at DePaul.
I'm stunned. Don't know.
I will give you another clue. He played for a team whose nickname at the time was appropriately named and is now inappropriately named. Similar to the Jazz not being much in Utah, but were very good in New Orleans, the team he played for was appropriately named, but is no longer appropriately named. Anybody? Twitter?
I'm
if you can actually get on Twitter and do anything on it, and you haven't hit your limit for the day, feel free to respond. Ron, who was the greatest player in the history of the game before Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell?
George Mikan.
Yes, that is the answer.
I didn't know he went to DePaul. God, that's what. Yeah.
He did. And who did he play for, Ron?
Well, he played for the Lakers.
Who were in what city?
In Minneapolis.
Appropriately named. But now not appropriately named because the only lakes in Los Angeles. Never mind. We're not finishing that sentence. Here, the Jazz are down by 25 in a Summer League game, and it's 3:37 left in the third quarter, and I'm using blowout material already. They're all giggles down there in the Royce Young and Nick over in the Thunder. They're having a great time on their broadcast. And we're talking about George Mikan. 75-51, here's Chet Holmgren.
That's amazing. George Mikan was considered big, but I don't think he was any bigger than 6'10", maybe.
He weighed more than Chet Holmgren.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
So, numerous.
I weigh more than Chet Holmgren.
I have numerous lines about that, but I'm going to leave them all out because talking about weight is probably not an appropriate topic for most conversations. 75-51, Chet Holmgren is fouled on his way to the basket. He'll take his first free throws of the game. He has 12 points, 5 rebounds, assists. He had a rocky start and then got going in the second quarter. He misses the free throw here. Holmgren, 7'1". He grew up in Minneapolis, staying on theme, around the Great Lakes. Was the number 1 player in the class of 2021 out of high school. Went to Gonzaga. Was the number 2 pick in the draft.
The land of 10,000 lakes. Correct.
Yes. Lake Arrowhead is the only thing you can come up with close to Southern California. Abaji drives, sneaks by Holmgren, but misses at the rim. Here's Trey Mann. Hesitates, now drives, puts his shoulder down, and it's an offensive foul. First quarter of this game was an offensive malpractice. 29 points were scored. The second quarter was an offensive explosion or defensive malpractice, you decide. 73 points were scored. Yes, we went from 29 points in 10 minutes to 73 points in 10 minutes. 10-minute quarters in the G League, in the Summer League. Ross, step back jumper at the free throw line is good. Colby Ross out of Aurora, Colorado. Here's Jared Butler driving in the lane, gets himself in trouble and throws it away. Ross to the front court with a left-hand high dribble, leaves it behind for Ongundu, and his left-hand layup is good. Ongenda. He had the game. We remember watching the Big East tournament this year when DePaul beat Seton Hall. He was the one with the game-winning block at the horn. Shackelford. Butler left side, over the top. Maldonado shakes Hauser, flips back to Butler, catches on his left hip, brings it into his shooting pocket. Shoots the three and misses. Abaji rebounds, finds Hauser on the run. Three is short.
I'm waiting. He said he was a great shooter in college.
He's been short on everything in the NBA range.
Yes.
And his release is a little different. His brother plays for the Celtics, by the way.
Oh, yes, correct.
79-55, Jazz down by 24. Abaji backdoor cut to the rim, slam dunk. Nice find by Genda. Genda's out of Ontario, Canada, before he spent the time in DePaul. 79-57. Here's Chet. Putting on the deck, driving, stopping, traveling. What's he going to be able to do offensively in the NBA?
What he's going to have a problem with is getting knocked off balance quite a bit. He just doesn't have that frame.
I didn't think his gait looked good last year when he was here, which I thought was interesting. I haven't really been able to check it out when he runs right now. 79-57. Utah down 24 to the Thunder. 1:41 left here in the third quarter in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
He didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
This is an opportunity to be more. More than a name.
It is Max Homa. Incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number one, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
Hey guys, it's Another Dude's Podcast. Big Utah Jazz fan here. Tell me what the heck PAX is?
What is?
Exactly. They have a huge courtside logo. Wrong guesses only go.
Another MLM.
Another cookie soda shop?
A Gen Z translation app for Zillennials.
Haha, nice. It's actually a company that offers healthcare administration leadership programs.
Oh, okay. Well, I liked it better when we were guessing.
PAX, proud sponsor of the Utah Jazz. Get to know more about us at PACS.com.
We have 1:41 left in the third quarter. David Locke along with Ron Boone. We are at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it is the Thunder by 22.
And David, I would say with the number of people here, there's a lot of them didn't go camping. Decided to stick around and boating.
That's nice. I appreciate all those people doing that because I can actually get off the freeway. Actually, can get to my house. Turnover by the Jazz. Here comes Maldonado. He played 6 years at Wyoming up the street. Missed the left-hander. Keontae George push ahead to Kinsey. Leaves behind for Potter. Catch and shoot three over Holmgren's no good. And Mann, who flew in for a monster dunk earlier, takes air for this rebound. Mann crosses over. Stop. Step back Jay. No good. And Keontae George with his baby face rebound pushes ahead to Ross. Left side Hauser for three. There it is, Ron Boone.
Finally get one.
He was 0 for 4 prior to that. He does have 9 boards. Joey Hauser out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Here's Holmgren. No relation to Mike. Football reference. Holmgren swings through, drives the left hand, falls to the ground, gets it knocked away, but it goes to Jared Butler of the Thunder. Butler keeps the dribble alive, terminates. Shot clock about to expire, flares it out to Maldonado, and he hits the three. You know, there's a theory on guys that go to the ground a lot that they get hurt. Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid. Holmgren's been on the ground 4 different times tonight. You wonder whether that body can have good enough balance. He's a great defensive player, but here's Hauser driving. Flares it out to Potter. Driving on Holmgren. Holmgren's on the deck again as Potter just bulldozed him to the rack and laid it up and in.
And they gave him like too small?
I don't know. Too skinny?
Or what that? I don't know what that meant. But
need the opposite of Jenny Craig. 5 seconds left. That's an old reference.
So here's a
Jared Butler falls to the ground, turns it over, and the quarter comes to an end.
So was that a flop by Holmgren?
No. He got dacked. What's the football phrase when somebody gets run over? Can't think of it right now. He got trucked. Thank you very much. Producer back in the studio comes up clutch. 82-62. Micah Potter trucks Chet Holmgren for the highlight of the night so far for the Jazz, who trail by 20 after 3 in Salt Lake City.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits, and since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americaFirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa. Incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number one, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
People do small acts of goodness every day. Some people return shopping carts to the cart return.
Some referees occasionally make the right calls.
2 shots.
And some employees join Zoom meetings on time, even if it means staring awkwardly at a random coworker for 5 minutes. There is good happening all around you, and it should be rewarded. Celebrate wins, reward effort, and always recognize the good. Start celebrating at awardco.com.
Tip of the hat to Christian, our producer, who nailed the truck reference. Holmgren comes back on the floor. We should remember, when we're critiquing Chet Holmgren, he has not played basketball for a year. Had the Liz Frank surgery on his foot last year, injury, and which at one point in time, by the way, was a little bit of a death sentence for an NBA player.
Yeah. That Achilles, ACLs, I mean, it was like...
Jared Butler throws away the inbound pass. Ross steals it, and then Butler fouls Ross. Yeah, no, Kevin Durant had the Liz Frank at one point, which I think, if I remember correctly, and super scary when he got through it. Now guys are getting through it. Medical science.
Yeah.
Doing great things.
Yeah, that and with therapy. I mean, 2 or 3 times a day, and you know.
Potter hard drive to the rack, and he packed the right-hander. Micah Potter. Jazz within 18 with 9:45 left in the fourth quarter. 16-6 run.
I think a good run here in the fourth quarter will really help this team going into the next ball game.
Get tomorrow off in the fourth. This man's crossover 3, no good. Potter rebounds. Outlets to Ross. Colby Ross played at Pepperdine, Italy last year. Comes off a Potter pick. Chests it to Keontae George, and the rookie drives, gets to the rack, and finishes with a left hand. Keontae George is now 2 for 8 on the night. Check it, 3 for 9. Man drives. Flares out to Maldonado. He penetrates, puts it off the window, and scores it. Maldonado, as we mentioned, 16 and back the other way. The Jazz get another answer. Keontae George, back-to-back buckets. And that one's a 3. Butler finds Holmgren driving or going to the baseline, catches in traffic, goes up with the left hand, draws the foul, and get free throws. Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, who was the second in Rookie of the Year voting, dominated this game in the first half with 21 points, did not score in the third. Then Jalen Williams out of Arkansas for the Thunder, who started 36 games last year for the Thunder, had 13 rebounds. Trey Mann played 2 NBA seasons. He's been terrific for the Thunder. He has 16, and Chet Holmgren here playing in his second summer league after last year. 13 points, 5 rebounds, and assists. He's 1 of 3 from the line, and he makes the second free throw. Some fans are beginning to wonder if they might get Chick-fil-A if you miss 2 free throws, but I don't think that happens in the summer league.
And David, you see what coaches are doing. They're only playing so many guys. The Jazz have played 9.
Keontae goes to the rack, gets suffocated at the cup by Holmgren. A 2-hand suffocation block, and Holmgren fires the 3 to answer, and he misses.
So
George went up, and Holmgren went up higher with 2 hands and crossover. Step back 3 for George, no good. A very aggressive Keontae George here in the fourth quarter. Shackelford drives. Potter defending. Potter blocks it. Shackelford recovers. Back out to Mann. Mann with the left arm and the right leg tattooed, and the other's clear. Driving, fading, shooting, missing. Potter rebounds. Brings it up the half court himself. Chests it over to Samanic. Hands it off to Kinsey. Great scorer at Marshall. Right side, Keontae George, baseline drive, cut off. Lifts it back to Potter for 3, no good, and the rebound comes to the Thunder, lead at 85-68 with 7:30 left in the fourth quarter. And Maldonado travels on the move. I love this note on Maldonado, by the way. His junior year at Wyoming, he averaged 37 minutes a night.
That's the whole game.
Like,
You might
if you're averaging,
you might as well playing 40.
Right. Think about how many nights. If for any night he played 34, he had to play 40 to get there. By the way, he had to have played some 40-minute nights. Samanic open three from the angle left, and he hit it. Samanic was 0 for 5 from 3 prior to that shot. He does fade back with his body a little bit, Ron.
Just a little bit, yeah. I noticed that as well. But I think it's one of his biggest assets. Yeah, is that how quickly he can get the shot off. I mean, he's already in his shooting motion when he catches the basketball.
Here's Keontae George left side. Hesitation, crossover, left-hand drive, floats it up, off the glass and in. Keontae George. 13 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists in his debut for the Jazz here in Summer League. Jang back on the floor with Jalen Williams of Arkansas. Jared Butler's at the point. Butler jabs left, works right, in and out dribble. Guys are falling all over the ground. There's a whistle and a foul. Bodies sprawling. Fouls on Colby Ross of the Jazz. Substitutions. Thunder go one deeper into their bench than they've been all night and bring in Zaire Smith. Boy, is he an interesting story. Zaire Smith was the 16th pick of the 2018 draft. 16th pick, same pick as Keontae George. He has played 13 NBA games in his entire career after being the 16th pick. Abaji misses the 3. Rebounds loose on the ground, a foul on Carey. And the thing about Zaire Smith that makes that even worse is on draft night he was traded for Mikal Bridges.
Really?
Oops. Timeout here. Jazz have cut it all the way down to 12. It's 85-73 Thunder with 5:55 left in the fourth quarter in Salt Lake City.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
He didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa. Incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
At Ken Garff, we know that a great dealership experience always starts with listening. Before fair prices, before quality service, even before great vehicle selection. Why? Because listening to customers and putting their needs first means all of that is a given. So no matter what your vehicle needs may be or which Ken Garff dealership you choose, there's always an expert listener waiting to hear how they can help you. Visit us online at kengarff.com or stop by any location to put our ears to the test. Ken Garff, we hear you.
$85-73 Thunder by 12. Jazz on a nice little run here to open the fourth quarter, 11-3. David Locke along with Ron Boone. Well, our play of the game is unquestionably Trey Mann's dunk. But he plays for the Thunder, so we need a Utah play of the game, and that's got to be Micah Potter trucking Chet Holmgren. That's brought to you by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah, the state of sport. Thunder come back out with Jalen Williams, the center, not the scorer. Trey Mann, Jang, Shackelford, and Zaire Smith. Jazz come back out with Ochai Agbaji, Keontae George, Luka Samanic, Micah Potter, and Vernon Carey. So that's the Jazz starting five. Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams are probably done for the night for the Thunder. Trey Mann, 5 of 13 shooting, 4 of them being threes. Gives to Jang. Jang, the Frenchman, crosses over, steps through, puts up the right-hander, misses, rebound loose and controlled by Agbaji. Here's Keontae George, who's having a nice quarter. He's got 13 points. Crowd, a little bit of a hush every time he gets it, or a little bit of a buzz every time he gets it. Finds Agbaji on a curl. Ochai, pull-up jumper, rattles around and in. Ochai Agbaji's got 17 on 18 shots.
And the Jazz are just getting closer and closer. You got 5 minutes to get back.
Within 10. Here's Shackelford, the left-hander, swirls out, no good. Offensive rebound, Zaire Smith. Back out to Jalen Williams, the center. Top to Shackelford, right side to Jang, who's 1 of 10 shooting today. Gives over to Shackelford, cutting the lane as Smith. George anticipates, George steals. Keontae with the pedal down, across the half court. Bounce pass through traffic to Samanic, who lays it up and in. Keontae George with a beautiful vision and a dime.
So you think he just needs to play faster?
Maybe.
Is that his game?
Maybe he just had to start breathing.
Right.
He's within 8. Crowd's into it. Lower bowl sold out. Upper bowl filled 3 rows deep. 3 ball, right corner, Shackelford, good.
That'll quiet the crowd.
Briefly. Agbaji will initiate the offense this time. Black tights with his Adidas socks, or his Nike socks pulled up high.
Oh, double dribble.
Down low. Inside, carry, foul. Right? I mean, Keontae George might have just needed to start breathing. Came out in the first quarter. He was just an absolute non-factor. He had 0.0 rebounds, 0 assists. Played some big-time basketball at Baylor. He's played on national teams. But it might feel a little different the first time you put on an NBA uniform and come out of an NBA locker room, even if it's summer league. And then when you walk in and this building's lower bowl is completely sold out, you realize you're in a different place. You'll play games in the regular season without this many people in the building, Charlotte.
Yeah, it gets bigger, doesn't it?
Carey, free throw's good. Jazz back within 9. Call it 10. And Jared Butler travels, bringing the ball up unencumbered. Jared Butler just turned it over, walking up the front court. 10-point game. Jazz trailed this by as many as 27. 4 minutes left. Keontae George at the top, guarded by Butler. Beats him off a pick. Bounce pass cut off and kicked by Jalen Williams.
And the play was there. Good defensive play there. Otherwise, Agbaji gets a dunk as he goes
About
back
to be
on
a
the
Big
baseline.
12 combination. And we like those in town now. We're a part of that party. Here's Keontae George, top of the key. Jay rattles around deep in the cup, pops out. And Chet Holmgren back in the game, rebounds. Holmgren trying to bring it up in the front court, and Samanic fouls him in the backcourt.
Yep, free throws.
Holmgren's played 25 minutes tonight. It is not free throws. Butler, Jang, Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Zaire Smith. Here's Chet Holmgren. Switches his pivot feet. They don't call a travel on it. Hands it off to Butler. Butler, left-hand drive, shoves off, drives with his right, pump fakes 3 times, nowhere to go. Out to Holmgren. A lot of traveling in this possession, no calls of it. Holmgren pulls up and gets it blocked by Carey. Outlet to Agbaji. Baseball to Samanic. In and out dribble, steps through, draws the foul, free throws coming. Jazz trying to whittle it away as time winds down. 3:22 to play.
And it looks like they're going to outscore the Thunder in the second half. but they're playing faster.
Samanic with 11 points and 6 rebounds in the first free throw. Good. Out of Croatia, originally the 19th pick by the San Antonio Spurs. Played 7 games for the Jazz last year. Averaged 10 points a game. And makes this one. It's an 8-point game. Jang will bring it up the front court. Hands to Jalen Williams. Directing Holmgren where to go. Tries to get it to Butler. Samanic gets knocked to the ground. Jazz only have 4 guys on defense. 3 from Jang, no good. Offense rebound Holmgren. Knocked away by Baji. Rolls to Jang. Jang turns it over. Potter with a steal. Potter throws it away. Timeout. Micah Potter was rushing it up the front court. Thought he had a pass to one place. It wasn't there. And then while he was still in the passing motion, tried to fix it, but didn't have control of the ball and threw it away. 3 minutes left in the fourth. It's the Thunder 88 and the Jazz 80 here in Salt Lake City.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits, and since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americafirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Your local Lennox dealer can help you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products that will help improve your comfort, your health, and your mood. And with competitive rebates and financing options, it doesn't get any more perfect than that. Visit Lennox.com today to learn more and to find a dealer near you. Lennox is proud to be an official partner of the Utah Jazz.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
We got 2:58 left here in the fourth quarter. It's the Thunder 88, the Jazz 80. Jazz trailed this game by as many as 27. They're on an 18-6 run here in the fourth quarter. Special thanks to America First Credit Union, Utah Sports Commission, and Western Governors University for presenting the Utah Jazz basketball here during Summer League, Salt Lake City Summer League. All right, here come the Thunder, 3 to play. See what they drew up in the timeout. Trey Mann attacks Keontae George, gets in the lane, open jump shot, good. Shunned him a little bit. Here's George, right out arm tattooed. Left arm clear with a sleeve up to his elbow, and he finds Vernon Carey for a 3, and the knuckleball short. Holmgren rebounds, lobs ahead to Jalen Williams at the rim, layup good, and a goaltend. And the Thunder have quelled the Jazz rally and now lead by 12 with 2:25 to play. Abaji to the corner. It's Potter for 3. It's off the back rim. Kinsey high up for the rebound. Kicks out to George. He'll fire the 3 and it hits. He gets that off with ease, Ron.
Yes, he does. And it was you like guys that's accurate shooting the basketball, but they can get those shots off quick enough that you can't be contested.
Yeah, that distance does not seem to be bothering him at all.
Yeah.
Trey Mann turns it over. Nice defense by Keontae. And the Jazz Potter pushes ahead to Kinsey, and he drops it and turns it over. 9-point game. Here's Holmgren trying to put a shoulder into Potter. Fades back with the shot, misses. Holmgren 6 of 14 shooting tonight. Back in action for the first time since his injury a year ago. Abaji, guarded by Holmgren, chesses to Potter. Back to Abaji, guarded by the 7-1 Holmgren, attack to the rack. Jalen Williams is there, takes another charge. Third one of the night he's taken. Can we get rid of that? It's so dangerous. What do you think of that, Ron? There's a lot of talk during the playoffs. It's just such a dangerous play, just almost to eliminate the charge. Just decide that it's all a blocking foul. Like, make defenders not get under airborne players anymore.
Well, I totally agree with you there. And you're worried about the injury part of it.
Valuable assets flying in the air. 1:12 to play. Jazz down 9. Here's Trey Mann working Keontae George. Kinsey switches out, knocks the ball away. Mann runs it back. Crossover, left-hand drive to the rack. Scores it. Trey Mann having a nice night. Keontae across to Kinsey, right side Potter. Quick release 3. Nope. So Keontae George erupts here in the fourth quarter. Will finish with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists on 6 of 15 shooting. Here's Holmgren. And George sneaks behind him and steals it. Keontae's going the other way to the rack and dunked it. Great fourth quarter for Keontae George. Will have Jazz fans leaving happy. And the Thunder are going to take another timeout. We'll probably keep it here, assuming we've used all of our timeouts. Well, let's take a second and hear from Keontae George on his confidence level as he moves in to this NBA season.
I'd probably say off the court, I'm confident, treat everybody with respect. I'm engaged with the fans. Always keep a smile on my face. I think my character is what I'm really confident in. At the end of the day, the basketball going to take care of itself. I'm going to stay in the gym. Like I said, I'm playing with the basketball, but, you can control your character, how you act towards people. That's what I'm confident about.
Well, there's a kid right there that does have that confidence he's talking about. He also shared with JP Chung on the Round Ball Roundup podcast on his motivation for his career.
Yeah, man, my family, they're here with me today. Also I think what motivates me is that, I love the game of basketball, so I'm do whatever it takes to be great at it. Just to answer your question, my family is what keeps me in grind mode. I want to, give back to them. That's one of my main goals. So, I'm one of the first to do it, make it here back from my city. So, man, I got a lot of people that I'm putting on for it. So, man, like I said, I love the game of basketball too much.
All right, 33 seconds left. Keontae's had a nice fourth quarter. He's got 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on the night. Thunder inbounding. Jazz triple team man. He gets it off the Holmgren. Jazz double team him. And then finally, the Jazz foul Trey Mann. From the Jazz standpoint, Ochai Agbaji tonight, 7 of 18 from the field, 9 rebounds, 17 points. Keontae George will end up being their leading scorer with 18. Samanic went 5 of 16 to score 13. Jazz shot 39%, 27% from 3. They trail by 9. Same setup here for the inbound. They run the exact same play. The ball comes in the exact same spot. Jazz double team again. This time they steal it, though. Agbaji has it down on the ground. We got to jump ball.
Great thing about that play there is Agbaji came from the backside, the weak side. He just could not be seen. Comes up with a deflection.
Ochai tonight, 17 points, 9 rebounds. So Agbaji will jump it up with Mann. Agbaji favorite.
G League officials or?
No, a little bit of each here.
Yeah.
Danica Mosier, the woman, has called some games. Andy Nagy has called some NBA games. Jason Steele, I think, is the youngest of the group. Mann out jumps Agbaji.
Agbaji just wasn't ready. I can't imagine Mann out jumping Agbaji, but.
And back out to Holmgren, where they foul Holmgren with 18.3 seconds left. Evan Brads, I do not think has a 9-point play he can dry up for the Jazz, but you never know. He's creative. Crowd chanting overrated at Chet Holmgren in a summer league game. Are we in Philadelphia? My goodness. Second free throw good after the first one wasn't. Here's Keontae George, full throttle, handoff to Abaji, straightaway three, no good. That'll do it. So the Jazz will fall in preseason game number one. They'll move to, 10-6 now in summer league games?
10-6, yes.
Salt Lake summer league games. Danny Ainge gives his grandkids some direction on where they're supposed to go, and he heads into the locker room. And the Jazz will get tomorrow off. Will Hardy having fun with the officials. And the night will end with the Jazz falling 95-85. Ron, your impressions tonight?
Well, my impression is that when they played faster, they looked better. We'll see the next ball game if this is if they're a better shooting team than what we saw tonight. I mean, but the difference is the next ball game will be a different rotation.
Yes.
I'm
going to do a little live producing on the air with Christian back in the studio. Do you want me to hit top of the hour on the minute, or what do you need? What's best for you? Oh, whatever I want. We can go forever. Well, one clock says 9:01, another says 8:59, and another says 8:59. I think it's 8:59. Gotta love it when the clocks. What's that Mark Twain quote? The guy with one clock knows, the guy with one watch knows what time it is, and the guy with two is always confused. So 8:59. Well, we'll be back with you Wednesday. On a lot to talk about, and we even had a jersey exchange here after the game, which is kind of cool. One of the Jazz players, Keyshawn Justice, did not play tonight, but he and Jalen Williams were teammates at Santa Clara, so they did a little summer league jersey exchange after the ball game, which is kind of awesome. And the two of them were teammates at Santa Clara, and the Thunder, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and Trey Mann all doing interviews with Holly Rowe afterwards for NBA TV here on the floor. All right, that wraps us up. Thanks to Christian back in the studio, Jamil Ben, Kristen, Ron Boone. I'm David Locke. We'll be back with you for Summer League on Wednesday. Hopefully you can come out and join us. Tickets are available at UtahJazz.com. Have a great night and be safe.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
He didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
A home is not just a house. It's much more. It's a castle in the woods, the birthplace of the next great masterpiece. It's the best show this side of Broadway, and a world-class culinary institute. We'll take care of the pests, so you can take care of what matters most. Every inch, every corner, and every get-together with Aptiv.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number one, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit UtahChampionship.com.
Did someone say ice cream? At Far Better Ice Cream, we refuse to be ordinary. After 100 years, we have become Utah's most preferred ice cream. Our rich history of ice cream has always been filled with the freshest ingredients and made with love from the Far family. Make sure to pick up Far Better Ice Cream at finer grocery stores across the state, or have a scoop during the game. At Far Better Ice Cream, we refuse to be ordinary, and we will never settle for anything less than legendary. Far Better Ice Cream.
Take note, Jazz fans. The exclusive debit card of your Utah Jazz is here, and it's only available at America First, the official credit union of the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz debit card changes the financial game. It's packed with features, packed with benefits, and since it's accepted all over the world, it gives you home court advantage no matter where you pay. Get yours today. Apply at americafirst.com/jazz. Available on approved credit. Eligibility and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
Higher education wasn't built for me.
He didn't care that I was juggling work and school.
Didn't care that my kid's dance recital fell on test day.
It's their deadlines, and if you can't hit those, you're out of luck.
At WGU, we hear you. That's why we've built an entire online university around you. Here, you set the deadlines. You take courses on your time, and you take the tests when you're ready. WGU, the nonprofit university of you. Learn more at wgu.edu.
This is an opportunity to be more than a name.
It is Max Homa incredible.
And more than a number.
There's a new number one, Scotty Scheffler.
Be the game's next rising star.
Justin Suh, Corn Ferry Tour champion.
The Corn Ferry Tour returns to Oak Ridge Country Club for the Utah Championship, hosted by the Utah Sports Commission and presented by Zions Bank. For tickets and event info, visit utahchampionship.com.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
97.5 KZNS FM Colville, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Mid-Bend. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We now join the Salt Lake Bees broadcast in progress with the voice of the Bees, Steve Klauke, on the Zone Sports Network.
Because he only went 4 innings and not the necessary 5, he can't get the win. 2-2 slider dribbled up the third base side. Diaz off the mound, picks it up with his right hand and throws to first for the out. There, people on the top step of the Tacoma dugout can't believe what they just saw. Jonathan Diaz didn't have time to pick it up with his left hand and throw. And we've seen him do this a couple of times, and he plays catch regularly right-handed. Just throw off his glove and then pick it up with his right hand and throw to first. One away. That'll